this conservative.
In certain respects, they might be more horrific than your average haunted house.
Yeah.
A little closer to home. Yeah, it's one thing to see a zombie. It's entirely another to see an overdose.
Yeah.
Don't they have an abortion room too?
It seems like it.
I think they display abortions in grotesque, horrific ways, but also it says scenes of homosexuality. Does that mean that they get two gay, guys or gay chicks to fuck in the middle of this hell house?
Somehow, I don't think the church
just a couple of mannequins.
You come around the corner, there's a couple of dudes rubbing their wieners together. I don't think that's really...
I don't think that's what gay guys do.
I was going to say, it's a really interesting picture.
Rub their wieners together.
Yeah. It's like...
Sorry, it's an old stand-up gag.
I guess they just scissor or something.
I'm pretty sure about half of this last bit of conversation is probably going to have to
maybe
be out anyway.
Maybe. Just touch them.
Welcome to the world of the old Oklahoman.
Well, it only costs $12 to go to get in.
Yeah,
so
no.
Maybe
In
guys.
Cedar Hill?
Yeah, in Cedar Hill.
I'm in for a good laugh.
Just go in there and start laughing your whole way through.
Let's do a revolving culture meetup.
All right.
Oh, God. The audience all
Let's
shows
do
up.
that.
That would be awesome.
All 12 of them.
Oh, 12. Your mom, my mom.
There are at least 48. So there's also another trend going in the other opposite end of the spectrum, as opposed to hell houses. There's these extreme haunted houses, like the McCamey Manor in California, where there are very few limitations placed on them. They claim that they don't harm anyone, but you have to sign a release form before going in. The release form also stipulates that the experience can last up to 6 hours. That you're not supposed to be able to quit. They can punish you by putting like these rotten egg. There's a specific type of egg that can go rotten and not affect you too badly. They use all kinds of gore and...
Wait, what do they do with the egg? That was a half-baked
They force
idea.
you to eat it.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I mean, you should watch it. Look up McCamey Manor on YouTube and watch one of their little demo videos. And it looks frightening and hellish. It looks like something out of The Mind of Eli Roth.
Wow.
I don't think I could get through it because I don't like being told what to do.
Yeah, and it's one thing to say we're not actually going to assault you, but should you die of a coronary on our property, that'll be kind of cool, eh?
Yeah, it's one of those things like they do whatever's in their power not to be held accountable for whatever happens while you're there, and they've come under a lot of fire. It's kind of like a sadomasochist type of thing, and
little bondagey.
Yeah, and that's something that's come up within the past 5 or 6 years, I think. But McCamey Manor is probably the biggest name as far as that goes. What do you have, Robbie?
I just wanted to mention a little thing that's done every year by a haunted house in Niagara Falls called Nightmares Fear Factory, and there are photo blogs around the net. I'll make sure that we have links in the show notes for examples of some of these photo blogs. But there's an attraction there at the haunted house that involves people walking through a dark corridor, and then all of a sudden, from the other side of the room, they see headlights come on, and the headlights rush towards them like they're about to be run over by a car, and then a camera snaps, their reaction to almost being run over. And it's my awesome. Favorite thing. Every year there's you'll find dozens of new photos of people being caught in the moment, and it's never not funny. And I would encourage everybody to check it out.
Very amusing to see the looks on some of the facial expressions would have to be priceless.
Have you guys?
It's a treasure trove of that sort of thing. Yeah.
Have either of you guys ever been to the Ripley's Believe It or Not in Grand Prairie, Texas?
No.
Okay.
No,
they have
I mean,
something
not
similar
for
to that.
Halloween. I've been there.
They have a haunted house, and they have something similar where the car rushes towards you and with the lights coming on, and that's the most frightening part of the entire haunted house. So I
Wow.
can totally empathize with those people.
The only haunted house I've ever been to was at Six Flags when I was a preteen teenager. And I know it's really cheesy, but I was very scared. They were just like coming out from the walls and trying to spook you and stuff, but I'm easily frightened, so I was jumping at every corner. And when you do that, they're attracted to you. They want someone who they can easily scare.
Yeah, they want a result.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just being picked on at every turn. It didn't help that at like 12 years old, I was like 4'9" and like 80 pounds. So easy target.
And then you maced two of them, and they finally left you alone. And it's interesting that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeremy.
I was just going to ask if you guys have ever been spooked by spaghetti.
I wish.
From what?
Gotcha.
In high school, I remember
What is
going
that?
to a relatively small haunted house that was mostly staffed by people my age, and a close friend of mine was working there, and my friends and I are walking through the hallway, and he jumps out from the corner to scare us, and we couldn't see him through his mask, but he realized it was us, and he immediately, he flinched back, and he was like, "Oh, it's you guys," and he gave us a hug, and we kept moving through. It was funny. That's my haunted house memory.
Haunted houses have also started licensing. So now there's Universal has Hollywood Horror Nights, which include like a Walking Dead themed haunted house. It's like this huge spectacle. You go on a bus ride that kind of preps you and shows. They usually show like the newest season premiere of Walking Dead, or you get like a behind the scenes type of thing. And then you go on this like themed haunted house tour. The only thing, you can watch them on YouTube as well. Ow, bastard cat! Cat got me. Cat got me.
It's not that darn cat; it's that bastard cat.
Bastard cat.
I would not want to go on a Walking Dead tour themed after this year's season premiere.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Jeremy, you wanted to talk about how decorating houses.
Yeah, a lot of people decorate their houses. I put up a big spider up above my porch, hanging down.
Yeah, that thing's pretty neat, dude.
Thanks. Spider webs.
Me and Andrew
Scarecrows.
decorated
People use scarecrows.
Me and Andrew decorated the inside of our apartment, even though no one will see it except for us. But it's
you guys
fun.
want to come over?
Yeah.
We have
What'd you guys put up?
On our table, we have a bloody tablecloth that says "Help Me" with handprints all over it.
Oh yeah.
And then
That's a
we
good one.
have right here above.
It's like a garland or garland.
A garland of bloody instruments of death, like
Knives
and
and
saws
saws.
and scissors,
Yeah, scissors.
some shears.
Do you still have that wall decal that had all the creepy paintings?
Oh, we do. It's
do. We didn't put it
upstairs. Yeah, and we put some lights up.
Next year when we
You
get our
guys-
house, it'll be-
Yeah.
You guys had that at your old apartment, and I thought it was real paintings on the wall. I was tricked.
Technically, it's not ours. So shout out to Pat.
yeah. Thanks, Pat.
Hey Pat,
She's good. She's a listener on the show. You guys check out her Instagram. We'll share it on the.
it's Pat.
It's
Pat
at
Pat's
P
gram.
Marie 41, I think.
Yeah.
Damn, from memory, guys. Good job.
She's our number one and only listener.
It's a good thing we don't do like contests or giveaways, because she would just be a shoe-in every time. Yeah.
She would probably prefer we did it.
Yeah.
I didn't have much on decorating.
Okay.
Does anybody else?
I mean, that's just that. I mean, we had decorated our apartment knowing that no one would probably see it, but it gets us in the spirit of Halloween. And I like coming home and seeing it up. Like, I think it's fun.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if everybody who listens to the podcast knows us, but 2 weeks before October, we always do this. We usually do this Fortnite thing.
It's 2 weeks into September.
Yeah. I thought either way. It's called Fortnite because it takes place a fortnight before October, which starts our Halloween season for us. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we build forts and we eat a bunch of junk food and we watch horror movies, and that kind of builds the excitement for Halloween for us. And then we add to that by putting decorations up at some point. We start watching
horror movies every night.
Yeah, horror movies every night. So yeah, I guess it's just like in preparation, getting ourselves into the festive spirit. Yeah.
Since we really don't get into like Thanksgiving or Christmas that much.
It seems like I'm seeing a lot more houses, even here in Midlothian. People are really starting to decorate their houses for Halloween again. The past couple of years, it hasn't really been. You don't really see a whole lot of it, and then this year, there's just like houses up and down the block that have really gone. There's one house a couple of blocks down that really go all out. It's obvious that a lot like Andrew and Vicky, this is one of their holidays they truly love to celebrate and can't wait all year to kind of decorate and get ready for it. But it makes me feel good. I enjoy seeing the sort of uptick in good Halloween decorations around people's houses, and they're getting very creative with it, which kind of leads me. I mean, I can kind of recall, what it was to be a kid in Halloween in the late 70s and the early 80s. This might be as good a time as any to kind of talk about our particular memories of Halloween. Robbie, do you want to start us off?
Sure, yeah. Halloween when I was a kid usually meant visiting my cousin and going trick-or-treating in his neighborhood with his family. And it was always fun and pleasant, and I tried to dispute what you said earlier, Marty, about how maybe the culture of trick or treating has changed, but the more I think about my experience as a kid doing that, and maybe it's just the neighborhoods that I live in maybe aren't comparable to the one that I went trick or treating in as a kid, but I just remember there being dozens and dozens of kids doing the exact same thing. And the place we're living in now, we've lived here about 5 years, and our Halloweens are either no kids or just a handful of kids, and I don't know if they're trying alternative ideas like the trunk or treats, or they're just finding their way into other neighborhoods. But I feel like I had a really fun tradition that we kept up for quite a while with my cousin, and I have really fond memories of it.
I can recall for me, like the defining point in time every year for Halloween as a kid was picking out and for I'm sure there were a lot of really elaborate costumes for sale when I was a kid, but for a kid of modest means, what you were choosing was which sort of pop culture character, superhero, cartoon character, but they all kind of came in an identical box with a clear screen, and you got a little sort of very, very light polyvinyl, almost like jumpsuit in Superman or Batman or Casper the Friendly Ghost, and then one kind of plastic over-the-face mask with a rubber band that tied it, that secured it to your head, and that was almost like the universal costume. All you were deciding on was which character in that costume you were going to get. And for me, that's what I can just remember is every year is the shopping